Hi, my name's Max Hanna and welcome to Social Tree's LinkedIn Creative Manifesto. This video is designed to help you make better creative on LinkedIn. Most brands are approaching LinkedIn content in the wrong way. It's very self-promoting, it's very dry, it's very boring, and it isn't very entertaining. And here at Social Tree, we want to make LinkedIn content the best it can be. There is a massive opportunity for those brands out there who want to have a share of voice on LinkedIn to really take over, because so many brands are getting it wrong. And in our LinkedIn manifesto, we're going to outline how you can take your brand to the next level. So the first thing to get right is that you need to take a publishing mindset to your content. If you think about LinkedIn, it's very similar to publishers such as the Financial Times, The Economist, channels such as CNBC. It's a mature audience, but people want to be entertained. They want to have stories that really capture their imagination. They want headlines that grab attention. Yes, people want good information. That's why people go to the Financial Times, but it has to be presented in a way that gets people's attention. And again, most brands are doing this wrong. They may have a social media manager in-house or a content manager, but they're not really taking the editorial rigor it takes to really stand out on channels like LinkedIn. A company that's doing this right that we're working with is a company called Contagious. So here you can see Phoebe, who's the head of key accounts at Contagious, and we helped her put together this post about Algramo, who is a Chilean startup that is helping tackle the issue of reusable plastic, and they're actually a startup who's selling small amounts of rice and milk in reusable cups. And the reason it did so well, you can see here it's got 111 likes, is because it's a well-researched piece. It's a great story. It's something that's relevant. A lot of people are talking about, environmental issues, and it's done really well. But if you look at Contagious as a whole, the reason they do so well is because they do have that editorial rigor. And you can see, from their company page, for example, from all of their founders, they really do well because they're telling stories, it's well researched, it's not just a social media manager waking up in the morning and thinking what I'm going to post. It has that editorial rigor. It's not good enough waking up in the morning and thinking what we're going to post. It's a journalistic skill. There's so many people out there that say they are a social media manager, but the skill has evolved further. It really is journalism. It's the modern form of it. And it's about taking that publishing mindset, and many companies don't have that infrastructure in place to do that. The second thing to think about is creating a series. So you can see here in this example, someone we work with called Ray Bricknell, we created this really fun, engaging series called the IT Vendor Grill. So Ray is an IT consultant, he's an Aussie, and what he does, he takes vendors and puts them on the grill, he asks them questions about their products and really makes them sweat. So for example, there's a lot of talk about home working. He's got 3 vendors on and he's grilling them about home working, why they're the best, how they solve people's pain points. And it's a really fun, entertaining series. It's got over 100 likes, 100 comments, and he got 8 leads off the back of this. His average deal size is about 80k, is about 50k, sorry. So he's looking at about £400,000 pipeline just from that video. So think about your series and how can I make it fun? How can I make it entertaining, but still bearing in mind it's a mature audience and people do still want factual information. That's why they come to LinkedIn. It shouldn't be Facebook, but again, think about CNBC or the news outlets that are designed to give information to a mature audience, but done in the right way. And then another point to think about in our manifesto is about humanizing your brand. There's so much talk these days about being a more human-centric organization. Back in the day, many companies and corporates were seen as very cold, inhuman, and that's got to change. I mean, we do a lot of work in the finance sector, and trust is at an all-time low in financial services. So it's about humanizing your brand. And you can see here in this example, this is someone we actually work with in the pharma space called Frances Carby, and this is an example of a post where this lady, she used to be a nurse, and she put out a post, just a picture from back in the day, talking about her experiences, and it's done well. It's making FK a more human brand, and that's what you guys really need to think about. How can we humanize our corporate content, make ourselves approachable? Just having boring, rigid, factual information isn't enough. It needs that human touch. Most companies, however, lack the time and expertise to modernize their corporate communications. Again, there's so many people who are self-proclaimed social media managers or content managers, but it's that journalistic storytelling that is really needed. And the opportunity is massive because most brands are getting this wrong. And if you do work with an agency, most agencies only touch the surface of what happens on LinkedIn. Here at Social Tree, we live and breathe LinkedIn, and we are on a mission to make companies adopt a publishing mindset, to create series that really engage an audience and to humanize the brands. And we've been thrilled to work with some of the biggest names in the world, such as UBS, Meltwater and HP. So I hope you found this video useful. It's given you something to think about. But if you would like to talk about how we can help you take your LinkedIn game to the next level, we would love to talk to you guys. There's a link below this video. We can actually book a time to speak to myself and we can think through your LinkedIn and how can we adopt a new way to creative. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it and good luck.